I'd love a Scania V8, don't get me wrong, with very powerful engines and that, but and I'm going to offend a lot of folk by saying this, but do you know how when girls get their pass their test and get a Fiat 500 or the boy gets the Ford ST, it's very much the V8 is that, because everybody wants it. Even folk that know nothing about lorries, they buy a V8 and you're like, all right, nice one, mate.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Talkin Shop. Today we're joined by Shaun Thomson of Shaun Thomson Transport. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe and let us know who you want on Talkin Shop next. Where have you actually come from this morning?
This morning I only came from Weatherby Services.
Oh, okay.
But it was the offload was just... It's always the same. You pull into some places and it's folk are waiting and then it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And you look at your time. There was a crash on M1.
Oh, was there?
That wasn't handy.
Never helps, does it? Never helps at all.
Not at all.
You can't get anywhere. Unfortunately now you've literally just got to add an hour on to everyone. And you try and check it like the night before.
It doesn't make a difference. What was it, 2.5 hours late, is that right? Booked for 10 till 12:30 and I think I got here.
Yeah.
Is it 12:30 now?
It is, yeah.
Just now,
literally just about to be. Yeah.
It's good timing that.
Yeah.
So I suppose for the viewers then, so obviously just tell us who you are, what you do, and
anyone who doesn't know you,
my name's Shaun Thomson. Is it all of these cameras?
All of them.
Just look at each one. Yeah.
Just looked up there. Okay. My name's Shaun. For the past 2 years I've run a transport business and also on the sideline since about 2014 just been making YouTube videos and most recently that's my more
2014
content. Yeah, but I'm not showing you those videos because...
We've just been doing the same thing though from only like 2 years ago.
Shanice has been doing it behind the scenes today and we've been looking back at some of our very early stuff and we can't watch it,
I used to buy these mystery boxes, right? They were like 40 quid on they were called loot crates or something and they were just full of like gamer stuff and I'd unbox them, but I was only 14 at the time, so it was all like high-pitched squeals and shit. It was horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, no, it's well, you've got to start somewhere to be able to be where you are now, I suppose. So,
that's very true. So
obviously you run your own business, mainly it's mainly vehicle haulage.
Honestly, anything that pays well enough to go in the trailer.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and it certainly comes across, to be honest with you, the sort of variety that you get. The loads that you take. What do you sort of say your challenges are? There are challenges every day, but what do you say the main challenges of the job are?
Mostly finding the loads is almost like the easy part for myself, right? There's always something going somewhere. It's try to get it at a price that works for the customer and you. Yeah. So once you've got that down, but the worst part is getting paid. Well, I say nobody. People do what I pay. That's wrong. But there's people I regard as friends that like I do loads for, and then they just stop talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, if that's all a friendship was worth, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's a hard game. It's opened my eyes a bit, but I've really enjoyed it because I used to work for my father doing the removals, and it was very much I get a text the night before. You're this time, be there, and that's all I had to worry about. I didn't have to worry about getting a load to here or getting a load there or having a busy week or whatever. It was a much easier way of life, that way. Yeah.
So is that where it sort of started for you then in the haulage sort of industry? Was that working for family business?
Working for my father doing the removals, driving class 2 lorries and just kind of seeing all the class 1s coming up and down the road and me sitting there in my wee van, as people call it. It's been an eye-opener, but I've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it.
Yeah. You've got to start somewhere. Maybe a good grounding, as you say. You were sort of given the instructions of what to do in a day. So now you're having to do that for yourself. It sort of, I guess, opens your sort of imagination really to how difficult it is to plan your day.
100%.
Because when it's given to you take it for granted, I suppose.
Be the accountant, the transport manager, the driver.
I can see why my dad's so stressed now. Before I never used to really get it. I'd be like, fine, Dad, but see now you're in that the driver's seat, so to speak. You're like, Jesus Christ. And he has to do it times 9. So you get even more pressure.
So how long have you been going on your own then?
2 years now.
So 2 years, and you've just had a wee one as well.
Yeah, that's
so congrats.
Aye,
yeah, just to throw another spanner in the mix as well. Yeah, if we, you know what, if we're going to do it all now. Let's set up a new company.
That's it was no, it's been great. Downside is I barely see him. I leave the house, Sunday night most weeks, and I come back Friday night.
Yeah,
it's
and then it's your turn.
I get a very small window.
Yeah.
Get like something like
of sleep,
of sleep and seeing family and doing everything I need to do, but it's unreal.
Yeah,
you just never stop. See, the weekends I'm planning loads for the next week, and
you still got to balance that whole home work relationship, haven't you? Yeah.
Especially when you're not knowing where you're going to go next week as well.
Exactly,
makes it all. Yeah,
I know where I'm going up until Wednesday this week, and then that's it.
Yeah, and then Shaun, any idea what time you're going to be home?
No, not a clue.
My missus always, if I give her a time, she goes, right, I'll add 2 or 3 hours on after, and then she's never upset with me.
I'll just give her missus a day, and she knows that at some point I'll be home that day.
I'll be home on Friday.
Couldn't tell you a time. Yeah. So where do you live? Where do you run out of?
I run out of Kilmarnock, so it's about 40 minutes under Glasgow.
Right. Yeah.
It's a nice wee place. It's had a TV programme done on it years ago called The Scheme. So if you ever get a minute, watch that, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about
the area,
about Kilmarnock.
It's a nice place. What are the characteristics of Kilmarnock? What was like, if you had to sum it up and describe, like,
it's better now.
What's it known for?
It's better now.
Yeah,
just a lot of junkies.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Junkies and hauliers. Or junkie hauliers. I don't know.
Both probably, but where our depot is in Kilmarnock, when I used to run the depot for a wee bit, just to get another kind of what would you call it, experience under the belt. And you'd come out on like a Monday, and there'd be like beer bottles and all that sitting around the shutters, and they'd have spray painted like whatever they wanted on the side, and you'd be like, oh, Jesus Christ, man, it's just that was your job Monday morning, was then tidying it all away so it didn't look like it was. And they love putting windows in. That was their favourite thing. Yeah, it was handy.
Yeah. Got you on your toes.
Did you just go, this is Scotland?
That's it. Put a cardboard box against it, and then phone Fader, he'll sort the window guy.
How many trucks does he run?
It's, what we got? 9 removal lorries, and then we've got 2 Arctics. And then we've got a couple of wee vans that just do bits and bobs.
Yeah. Do you tend to still do a little bit for him, or is it mainly just focused on your own stuff now?
To be honest, I don't have time to help him now.
Right, yeah.
But no, when I was moving my house, obviously I done it for myself, just to take some pressure off him and that, so I didn't have like 2 of these guys held up.
Yeah.
But no, he pretty much runs it himself now. Yeah. Somebody else is driving my removal lorry, and that's me just...
Yeah, I suppose it's not a bad job to do, really, I guess, is it? I suppose it's quite labour intensive, isn't it? But I suppose you do see every day is different, isn't it? I guess.
There's always, every day's different. There's a lot of challenges as well, and
yeah, I live on that street there, the one-way street with all the cars parked down the side.
And you park outside somebody's house, and the neighbour would come out. You can't park there, you're blocking my view, and you're like,
that's it.
Right.
I'll just disappear.
You try and be as nice as you can, don't get me wrong, but people aren't very understanding when you want to park a 12 metre long lorry right in front of the house, and it blocks all the light for the day.
So that's one less challenge you've got now, but I suppose you're faced with a lot more with...
Downside is, with the removal lorries, I could always go into an industrial estate, a housing estate, and that's where I'd park up for the night. But I can't get away with that with the step frame. People ask questions now. So I have to pay for parking at the services.
That's it.
Was your dad sad to see you go?
No, it was actually, to be honest, it was mostly his idea. I've always wanted to do it, and the main idea was I would go away and work for somebody for a couple of years, get out of my system and then come back. But it was him that had the idea, actually, putting class 1s on the road and running it alongside Kilmarnock removals, and then that way he still kind of has me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, get the best of both worlds.
You know what I mean? So,
but you're in charge of your own work.
That's that.
Your independence, I guess, as well.
And it's adding an extra thing to the company, hopefully.
Yeah, because the contacts will still need that type of work doing, won't they? With removals.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I just adds another basket, so not all the... What's the saying? all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Try and get as many baskets as you can.
Yeah, I mean, you've certainly got a nice truck to start it off with as well. So
She doesn't let me down all that much.
no. I like the reg plate you put on it as well. It works, doesn't it?
That was unreal. That was
Yeah.
That was a spur of the moment thing. It's a lovely plate. Don't get me wrong, but if I was to do it again today, I probably wouldn't buy the plate.
Yeah.
I definitely overspent on it.
Oh, really? But I suppose that's what people see and they recognise, don't they? And, you know, in the long run, it'll be worth it.
I'm hoping it's an investment.
Yeah. Your money's going to always stay in there, isn't it?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
The time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Did you always wanted to do this as a kid, or?
Always wanted to drive lorries for day one. I was terrible at school.
Pretty much everybody, like, there's that trend of everybody's pretty much always wanted to do it.
Aye. It's just, but my grandpa had a farm and my dad had a trucking company, whatever you want to call it, and I was always touring between the two.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to drive lorries just that wee tiny bit more. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. You're away 5 days a week and it's a lot of hours, it's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yeah. Do you like your own space?
Yeah. You have to, because there's a lot of it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. I mean, do you, obviously with these days, I suppose a lot of undercutting in the industry, do you find it's difficult to find the work? And when you do you find you're up against it price-wise?
I definitely. There's always somebody that's more desperate for it and will do it cheaper.
Which is difficult because, you know, you've still got a job to do, you've still got to make money in the process, and you wonder actually how some of these people are doing it
100%.
by undercutting you.
There's a lot of, I don't want to name it, I'm not naming names or anything, but there's a couple of boys up my way, and you know, you give somebody a price and they'll say, oh, this guy's doing it for such and such, and you're pricing it in your head and you're like,
it's not worth it.
All right, okay, yeah, no, good luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You must know something I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to take that risk, you can.
That's it.
You know, I suppose working for yourself, you've got the luxury, I suppose, of going, actually, I can do something else.
Yeah. Do you find that YouTube's helped?
I don't think so, no.
No. It's just a nice thing to do, but
I enjoy doing it. It's it gives me something to do when I park up at night, but I think
it's a conversation starter.
I think it hinders my business a wee bit.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah. Because I get a lot of folk that when I mention YouTube about, like, oh, I might film it if that's right, a lot of folk are like, well, no. Like, folk don't want to know where the machines are going. And understandable, so when that happens, I'll be like, well, listen, doesn't need to be on YouTube. And then I normally just start the video like, us, we're in Leeds, and then just mention nothing about what I've brought down, or you know what I mean.
Do you find you have to ask a lot of the times, or
I have to ask a lot of times, and then even when you're filming on site and stuff, you have to be like, listen, do you mind if I, you know, get a wee video? And 9 times out of 10 folk are happy with it, but a lot of folk are like, no, don't show my house, or don't show my yard, or whatever they've got sitting about.
Yeah,
it makes sense at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, we're a country full of wrong-uns.
That's it. If someone rocked up to my yard and was filming all my half-done projects, well, whoa, tell them all about it.
Yeah. Well, people actually do that now to get a rise, to make a video of it, like the drones and stuff.
DJ Audits or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I don't watch his content, but it does come up when you're scrolling through TikTok and Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how nobody's just grabbed them and banged them.
Yeah, I
know, because I don't think I'd have the patience, if you like. A lot of people have, but it's just, I mean, that's the trouble, isn't it?
You can just tell he's fishing for a rise. He's not doing it for any good
of course
reason.
He's
trying.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, and you always see him as well with the police video and the police as well to just get a rise. Just so they say something wrong and get them,
And then that's it.
Yeah, gotcha. It's a gotcha video, isn't it? Yeah.
12,000 views on TikTok.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? That's all they're after.
It's the sad world we live in now. And the dash cams as well. Can't forget the dash cams.
Oh, no. A few times.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they'll dash cam it and I'm going to send this to the police. Your boy cut me up on a roundabout.
Really?
Do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You try pulling this out then. Yeah.
He's driving 10 hours a day. If he cuts one roundabout up,
you've done well.
That's good odds.
Yeah. Especially with I suppose the sort of work that you do as well. You know,
that's it.
Well, to be fair, they should just teach learners.
Oh, 100%.
This is what it's like driving a HGV. This 100%. Is what you need to be aware of around a HGV.
Yeah. This is a point of view.
Because the amount of times I see people literally in like a Nissan Micra or VW Up or whatever just sit in the blind spot of a lorry, and I'm like, you plonker. You plonker.
That's the K2 muck spreaders I do there, not that one, that load specifically, but some of them set about 3.2, 3.3 wide on the bed. So you're kind of overhanging quite a wee bit either side. So when I'm coming up to a roundabout, I'll take 2 lanes, not that I need it, just so that...
To stop anyone from thinking they can.
It mitigates that risk. And then there's like a van up my side, like,
what are you doing?
And I'm like, yeah, no worries, mate. On you go. And then the car behind's like thinking there's something wrong with me now. So then he's like indicated out and going round me, and I'm sat there like, right, I'm just gonna go.
You have to just get your elbows out. Yeah.
And you get folk beating horns and stuff. And like, I'm trying to like make it safer for yous.
Yeah.
Do you do any European work?
I've started doing a wee bit. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm still very much new to it. I've done what's that? Two separate trips now.
Okay.
And it's
where was that to?
Well, the first one was to somewhere in France. I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
That's it.
But it was some agricultural show for a company up in Forfar, Scanstone. So I took a load down there, and that was awesome. That was like an amazing trip. And then we got a backload back over for Paris.
Yeah.
For the Olympic Games.
Oh, nice.
Did you watch the Olympic Games at all?
No, I didn't. No.
See the BBC studio that they were all sat in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I took the floors for that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
You took the floors.
We drove past that actually, because I went just as it finished.
Right.
What amazed me was, I don't know if you know, but if you saw Paris, they flooded Paris with police.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
They were everywhere, but you felt safe as.
I can imagine.
Yeah, because it has had its struggles, to be honest with you, lately, the last few years with crime or whatever, so, or pickpocketing or whatever, or you know. So yeah, it was amazing actually to see how many police were around.
Was it just French, or is it like different countries going? I don't know how that works for.
I don't know. I think it was just French police, to be honest with you. Yeah. I don't know how it works if they all look after themselves, but it's probably something the French would do, wouldn't it? Yeah, you look after yourself. Yeah. The Brits weren't looking after. Yeah, nah. Just stopping the podcast briefly to talk about today's sponsor. Are you finding it difficult to find a balanced meal on the go? That's where Huel comes in, today's sponsor. Their Black Edition ready to drink is a complete meal in a bottle. Huel is the complete global nutrition brand with over 500 million meals sold. You can find Huel in your local Tesco, Sainsbury's, or directly at huel.com. And for new customers shopping at huel.com, you can try it for £10 off plus a free gift using our exclusive code Talkin Shop at huel.com. I'm constantly on the go and never find the time personally or have the effort to stop off and find something healthy to eat. So before Huel, I'd find myself going for the fast food options. Huel is a perfectly balanced meal designed by experts to provide all the nutrients your body needs from a meal with no prep and no cooking. With my personal favourite, the strawberry banana. Huel Black Edition is a perfect on-the-go meal. It's ready to drink, convenient, tastes great, and it's affordable. Join the Huel community with our exclusive offer for new customers of £10 off plus a free gift using our code TalkinShop at huel.com. That's £10 off plus a free gift for new customers using our exclusive code TalkinShop at huel.com. Thanks again, and back to the podcast.
Do you find the standard of driving in France then is noticeably different from here?
Oh,
yeah.
See, when you're out on the big roads, it's a doddle. See, when you go into Paris, it is a free for all.
Yeah,
it's you use your lorry as a weapon, or you're not getting out. It's mental.
Because there's something, I think Jeremy Clarkson said it like a few years ago. Like he's showing examples of like French footballers' cars that every single one of them battered.
And scraped.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just, you do literally use it as a weapon, as you say.
But they are way better in the north than in the south. The closer you get to Italy, we found this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Maniacs.
I say toll roads, dreamy. You can go all the way down, not a problem at all. Won't have one problem. Go anywhere near, say, Italy or a city, and that's where it completely changes.
Yeah, on that south coast, like the French Riviera, they're insane. And the Italians are even worse, especially when I'm there as well.
I can imagine.
We saw some of the Italian drivers, actually. It was... Where here you sort of go, right, you look, you indicate, you look again and manoeuvre. It was just indicate to go. That's it. Literally, that's it.
I quite like how they use their indicator though. Like their indicator is like, it's on while they're doing, I'm overtaking.
This is what I'm
That's
doing.
what I am here. I am overtaking. Then when they pull it back in, then it goes back off. I actually quite like the use of that. But then again, to be honest, it's a bit like flashing your lights over here. You flash your lights at somebody in front to say, look, I'm here, could I come past? No. I'm doing this. I'm doing, just under the speed limit. It's 50 here. The best is when you are in the 50 zones or the 40 zones. And you know the speedos are over. So obviously, especially when you're in a lorry, they're way more accurate as well. And you get like a car doing like 32. I'm doing the speed limit. You shouldn't have to come past me. Drives me mad.
I know.
Drives me bonkers.
I know.
The worst one, see when you're up in the Highlands, you've got a car that's going to single track roads and they've maybe got a caravan on and they're not very confident. Fair enough, I understand that. And they'll be doing like, 30, 35, 40, 35, 40.
Yeah.
Just like up and down the speeds.
Yeah.
And then it gets to duels and you're like, right, I'm going overtaking this guy, leave it to him. Then the road opens up and he's away.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Great.
right,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So then you're just driving along, parting along, and then like 10, 20 minutes you catch him back up again.
Yeah.
You're like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's just rinse and repeat the whole way.
Yeah, we were following a Tesla back yesterday on
Say no more.
an A road. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, say no more. And so she's doing 35, 40 max in a 60. Mm-hmm. We get to a 40 and she's doing 55.
Aye.
So we get up, we're like, right, we'll be able to overtake in a second. Now we're in a 40 zone, so I'm slowing down. No, she's just, I don't know, I'll just carry on doing what I was, like, she's now going faster in the 40. Yeah, I don't know.
It's mental, innit?
I know, yeah. But yeah, we did pass her and go, Teslas.
Aye.
Yeah.
They're mental, those things. Have you seen it when they go on fire? They have to like submerge them in water and that.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, they do. You can't just put the fire out anymore. You've got to dunk it for like 48 hours.
Yeah. I was with an authorised repairer of Tesla, and it's good money actually repairing these things. But he was showing me like how poor the build quality is. Take the technology side. The technology, everything you think Elon Musk would be involved with, I think that side of it's obviously great. But actually, as a car, just load of crap, load of junk.
I actually heard something the other day where it was someone I was watching on Facebook, but when one gets crashed, it gets removed from the charger network. So unless, so basically that car can never go back on the road again.
Oh, really?
You can't charge it.
No.
Yeah, if it's crashed, that's it. That's the way of them writing it off, basically.
Probably like a fire risk or something. If it's not fit for road use. Well, they never want any of them back on the road now when they're crashed, do they really?
That's it, disposable.
Content will take a dive, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think Matt Armstrong's interested in
No.
doing electric cars.
I'll
I'll tell you what, that's the moment I stop. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The second he does electric.
Yeah.
I love his content, man. Honestly.
Yeah, it's wicked.
You've only got to look at the views, haven't you, to work out actually everybody is in the same position there.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
unreal.
I think
the things he does.
yeah,
I'd love to be able to do that, but
I know.
I wouldn't have the patience.
No, you and me both.
It's the journey as well. Like he's been so driven with where he started to where he's now like 2 Rolls Royces, like insane.
mental, isn't it?
Yeah, full send. What's a Rolls Royce?
Wraith, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a Cullinan.
Yes, and then what one of them is a. What's the firm that's jazzed
Urban.
it all up? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Urban?
Urban, yeah.
Yeah. 700 grand.
I know.
Yeah.
Mental, innit?
Yeah. But he's done well from it.
crazy.
And then kept
Fair play
it.
to
I
him.
thought that'd be straight up for sale.
He keeps all his cars.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
Do you plan to do a lot more European work then, or
Hopefully, my truck needs an upgrade for it. The tachograph head needs to be this one that when the car drives beside you, it can download it and stuff.
All right.
So I need to take it off the road for that and spend whatever it is. Probably known lorries, it'll be $2,000 minimum.
All your profit.
Pretty much. And then a couple of days lost, probably, getting it fitted and the calibration done and all that.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's not even that. It's like customs as well. You've got to like think about all that sort of thing now, haven't you?
the good thing is, and that's why I love working with this company Scanstone, is they do it all.
Oh, do they?
Aye, so it takes the pressure off me,
That's
and
good.
also it means I can kind of look at the paperwork that I'm getting, knowing that it's done right.
Yeah.
And like kind of.
And if it's not, their problem.
Pretty much,
Your
but
fault.
That way I can study it and be like, right. So if I ever do this, I need this one and I need that one. Like it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, it could quite quickly go wrong, couldn't it?
Oh,
so I was watching. I can't remember whose content it was, but trying to get through the Mont Blanc with the wrong paper, with paper that isn't quite right. So not only have you got to go over the UK from UK over to France. If you want to then go to Italy, you've then got to do it almost again.
Aye.
So yeah, I can imagine having that is
it's unreal.
Are you a little bit gutted every now and again though? Because being away for a week, especially when your little one is as young, do you find it's a bit difficult?
Hard. I feel
Not
like
FaceTime,
I
but
feel like I'm missing out a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like when I go back every week and he's just so much bigger and he's just doing more things and I feel like I'm going to miss a lot of firsts, like the first time he walks and stuff. I feel like I'll miss.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up missing all that.
But the flip side is, in years to come, you would have built something, hopefully, that you can look back on and go, it was worth it. It was worth the struggle there.
Aye. And then I see him driving on the M6 and his lorry. I'm like, I've done it well.
Exactly. This is it. Yeah, this is it. But I suppose the power of these days with FaceTime and whatever, of course you can stay in touch with them, but I get it. It's not the same.
It's not the same as it's physically. It's physically being
there.
Yeah. But as you say, in years to come, and you can be proud of something else, can't you? When you
hopefully,
that's it.
Time will tell.
What do you love most about starting up your own business so far, and what's been the worst thing?
Just the challenge of it. I don't like. I hate it when it's easy. You know that way. I thrive under like being stressed and being angry. You know what I mean? See if something's too easy, I'm like, all right, that's fine then. But see when it's like at the time, don't get me wrong, I'm like, this is terrible. That's it. We'll quit it and I'll go back to removals. But then I get home and I'm like, I did that. I pulled it off. So that side of it is the rewarding side, but you don't get it until you're home. The lorry's cleaned and switched off and you're going home.
That's it. At the time, it's nothing worse.
At the time, you're like, this is the worst job in the world.
I think because Sandy obviously is up your neck of the woods. I think it's pretty much the same story with him. I think from what we get when he come on, actually, especially working some of the roads up north as well, there is more of a challenge. And it is more of a headache, but actually the reward at the other side of that is great.
There's less English.
Yeah.
I mean, no comment.
Do you know what though? I must say, I've worked in Scotland. I've worked it for about a year and a half, and some of the most beautiful roads.
Oh, they're stunning.
Driving quality is actually lots better. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong there, but I actually found that it was miles better than what I've experienced anywhere else. And I suppose actually there is more perks to it than what you'd think working that part of the world. So
biggest downside though is just like tourists in caravans that have never driven one before, and they're like, it's don't get me wrong, some are great, and then others are just like they struggle to drive a car, and then you've now attached a big trailer on the back end, and they're like,
I think I've probably repeated this like 10 times in the past, but it's no surprise because the quality of driving is shocking. Like it really is. It's getting worse and worse.
Oh, 100%.
I think something like I think you can tell why, because the test to get a driving test is about a 6-month wait at the minute. Certainly near us. And you think to yourself, well, how many people are queuing to wait for a driving test, or how many people are getting it wrong to be able to so I can't work out which one it is, but it's probably a case of that many people are failing, therefore the test is almost doubled.
What my first driving instructor said to me, I don't teach you how to drive, I teach you how to pass your test. That's worrying. But
well, this is it. You're going to get people past the test and think, right, okay,
quite honest.
Explains a lot though. Explains a lot.
Cheers for that.
When you pass your test, don't care what you do, don't mention my name.
That's it.
But to be fair, like when I look back now, I'm still learning to drive. Now I'm joking. I do feel like the first time I got in the car on my own that was my first like proper lesson. That was my first. I don't know. I just went to a full weapon after our test. I was like, I nailed the test, nailed the theory, did all that, and then after that, just became an absolute weapon on the road. Still to this day, 11 years later. But I was shocking. I just forgot everything. I was pulling up to roundabouts like 50 miles an hour, braking way too late. You know what they say? When you first pass your test, you've allow yourself more time. Slow down. You give yourself more time to work things out. Nah. Not me. But
it's the only way to learn though is make mistakes, isn't it?
That's it. What would you say like your biggest frustrations are in the industry? I mean, I saw one of your TikToks where it was talking about like obviously controversial one, but taking brakes on pumps. Is that probably one of your biggest, or are there others?
It's just it's all one kind of point. It's just see people being greedy. Like for instance, don't get me wrong, I shouldn't say this actually, but a lot of people take brakes on the pump, but there's a time and a place, right? And you're not meant to do it and you shouldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. But see when somebody's like there's a queue of folk, a queue of lorries waiting to get into the fuel pump. This guy knows he's got the same mirrors we've got. He can look backwards and see the queue. And especially this, the services we're in, it's not a great service. You see, once there's 2-3 lorries, that's it jammed. Like not even cars can get in. So we see people like that know that what they're doing they shouldn't be doing, but they're just like, don't care, I'm on a break, mate.
That's it.
You know
I'll look after myself. That's it.
Look after yourself, and then like for instance, me that day, I was in a rush. Like time was of the essence. So having him taking a break was ruining like
your day, really.
Ruining my day, and it was gonna make me late, and then I'd end up maybe not getting offloaded or I can't remember if I was loading or load, but
you got to be in the choosy where you stay then, because you're running out of time driving time as well.
It. And then folk would comment, well, you should leave yourself more time, but you try that, but then you get a half hour delay Monday, and then it's like
big knock-on effect there.
I've had it some days that like I've had a delay of like 2-3 hours on the Monday, and then that's my week like buggered. Like it's just a constant effect of late and missing deliveries and having to apologise and phone you guys and be like, oh, I'm sorry I'm late. It's just
we got it. Especially being able to just do 56. It's not as if you can make time up anywhere either.
No,
that's it. It's just literally if you can't make it, you can't make it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not like in a car you can put the boot down a wee touch.
No, we don't do that.
No. That's right, exactly. 70 is the speed limit.
70 is the speed limit.
68 just to be sure.
10% plus 2. I remember. Yeah.
I got a speed awareness on the A1 or something. I was speeding in the lorry, and it was when it went down to a 50, and I was doing like 54 or something. Anyways, I got the fine through, and they let me do a speed awareness course. So I sat there for 3 hours, just listening to this guy basically telling me how not to speed. He's like, everywhere I drive I do 10 miles under the limit. I was like, no you don't. So you're doing 10 and a 20 and a 30. I'm like, you're lying, mate.
No, absolutely.
You're paid to say that.
Yeah, of course.
Could you imagine you're driving for a 20 and somebody's doing 10 miles an hour?
Yeah. I'd love to know how many points they actually have.
Oh, Jesus.
9.
Minus points.
Majority of the time, they're just catching people who've just switched off for that split second and have passed the repeater or whatever and just got it wrong.
See when it's roadworks and you're not used to being that speed. Like sometimes I'm in my head like, right, I need to go here, pick that up, and if I have time I can get there, and then next thing I know I'm like, oh Jesus,
you've just sped up
turning. Because you're not on your phone or nothing, you're just you're looking at the road, but you're in your brain.
You're thinking times when you're driving sometimes. That's the only time you probably get to stop, really, if that makes sense, during the day. So
apart from your legal breaks.
Yeah, legal breaks, obviously. I suppose one of the questions is what made you choose Volvo? Obviously, Volvo is quite a big thing with the removals business, isn't it? But what made it for you?
First HGV we ever had was a Volvo at Thompson's, and just from being a young boy, I was always in the Volvo. I was always, it was always Volvo.
Yeah, which is I respect that, because a lot of people these days, it's Scania V8. That's literally the standard. Which I don't have a problem with them at all. I love them, but that seems to be the standard thing now. So having an interest in a different manufacturer actually is quite different.
I'd love a Scania V8. Don't get me wrong, very powerful engines and that, but. And I'm going to offend a lot of folk by saying this, but do you know when girls get their pass their test and get a Fiat 500 or the boy gets the Ford ST? It's very much the V8 is that, because everybody wants it. Even folk that know nothing about lorries, they buy a V8 and you're like, all right, nice one, mate. And they'll buy like a 15-year-old V8 instead of something that's maybe 5-year-old, but like, a DAF or a Volvo or even a less powered Scania. The only thing they care about is that badge. It doesn't matter the mileage, the condition, it's just the badge.
Which I suppose
it's a good analogy.
Yeah, we all have goals and stuff, but sometimes you've got to think, actually, is this here to make money, or is it for anything else?
Well, speaking of money, moving on to like the industry 5-10 years from now, how do you feel about the way the industry is going?
With the removals especially, I'm a wee bit worried. A lot of folk, obviously anyone can go out and buy a van and do removals. It's not really a specialist thing if you want a professional service, but it's not a specialist thing. Like anyone can buy a van and do it, and people rent vans and do it themselves and stuff like that. And the one thing we struggle with a lot is people that we'll price a job and then somebody shows up in a van. Bear in mind we've got this big like lorry that takes like probably 3 or 4 of that van, and they're ready to do the job, and it might take them all day, and it causes massive delay, and when you're moving house, you're meant to be out the house by 12 o'clock, and they're still off loading at 2 and stuff, and it's killing us that way. With haulage, it's mostly just people cutting rates. Like, I'll price a job up, for talking sake, £800, and the guy will come back to me, somebody's doing it for 5. You're like, all right, Jesus, don't know what he's running his lorry on, but then
that's nearly half tank of fuel there.
It's
isn't
mental,
it?
innit? And obviously, I know I'm still new to the industry and stuff. I've probably cut rates off of people as well. I'm not saying I'm innocent in it, you know that way.
You've got to be a bit cutthroat, but
I'm sure like the big boys, they've maybe went in at like 1,000 and I've went in at 8, or you know what I mean, and they've probably said the same thing about me. But it's
reasonable though. That is business. But when you're going, you're completely undercutting to the point where you're not making money. Is it worth it?
Unless he's running his lorry on like fairy dust or something.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say if someone was planning on starting their own business like yourself? What would be your biggest bit of advice to them?
Don't.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody says the same thing, actually. Yeah.
No.
Don't do it.
It's just like, you have to think with your business brain.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things that I've wanted to do and such, but that's letting my heart want to do it rather than like, an actual business point of view. Like, for instance, that lorry I've got now, I mean, I've put a bull bar on it, I've put lights, I've colour coded it, I've done my wee bit to it, but there's times I'm like, I could go and get stacks in a catwalk, and then you price it up and it's 6-7 grand and you're like, no, I don't need that. I want that. That's like 5 years and I've got 4 lorries or 5 lorries. That's when I can maybe do that. But a lot of folk want to jump from like to that step immediately. That way. And
gotta have patience.
Yeah.
Aye, that's something my dad's taught me quite well. Is just like, don't
stay in your lane.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah.
Get what you need, not what you want. You know that way.
Yeah.
Is that where you sort of see the future of the business? Would you hope for more trucks, or is it?
I'd like a couple more. Just so that, obviously, my dad wants to retire. He's done. He wants to just bugger off and leave it to me and my sister.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just take the family business over and continue running it. I'd quite like to sit back in 5-10 years and be like, right, okay, my dad's retired. I've got the company now, but I've also like added to it, that way. So I would like to build something onto it rather than just have it.
Yeah,
just given something, if you like.
I get that. And not take it anywhere.
Yeah, something to be sort of proud that you've done yourself.
Aye.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. Coming back to a question I asked earlier, is it difficult to make money doing it for yourself? Some weeks
I sit at home and I tally everything up and like, that was a cracking week, but there's other weeks you tally it up and you're like,
yeah,
that wasn't worth it.
Aye, because you could be driving down the road somewhere and you've got 2 half loads and then that one half cancels but the other half only covers your costs, but your back load down there is in a rush to get back up the road and you've promised them that you'd be there Wednesday, and so there's times you have to kind of
juggle.
Aye, you have to do what's right for your customer but also not lose money.
Yeah.
And that's hard because sometimes like somebody's bought a lorry and they need it up the road and I have to phone them and be like, listen, I can't get down, that load's cancelled. Oh, but you promised you. And I was like, mate, I know I did, and I'll do everything in my power to be there. But
you just can't.
I can't run empty to it. And then sometimes you'll be like, listen, how much extra? And you tell them and they're like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, they're like, right, just get back to me.
Yeah.
But the downside is, sometimes in that situation, they'll go elsewhere. So then you're like, right, I've got a backload, that's me. Oh, sorry, mate, I've got it sorted.
That's it. And then they develop a relationship with them.
Not only that, but then it makes you next time round feel obligated. It's not your fault, but then you're sort of like giving them discount or doing things that you shouldn't really be doing because you feel bad or you've promised somebody. Yeah,
that's it.
It's difficult.
I try my best. I try to like do whatever I can for the customer within reason, but not without like completely like getting, what's the word you would use? Taking a lane off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick message from our sponsor. Do you work on or run a fleet of vehicles, vessels, or machinery? Do you struggle with downtime and expensive maintenance costs? Maybe you're tired of your basic diagnostic tools giving little or no technical information. Well, Eclipse Diagnostics have you covered with Jaltest, the leading supplier offering advanced diagnostic troubleshooting with OEM-level technical information, inclusive of wiring diagrams and repair manuals. Eclipse dedicated support teams are on hand to keep your fleet moving, offering remote product support with the capability of ECU programming and even software updates. Take back control of your fleet and inquire with Eclipse Diagnostics today. Quote promo code Talkin Shop to receive a free cable saver with your order and keep your valuable equipment well protected. Thanks again, and back to the podcast.
Something I've just noticed in your videos that I haven't actually noticed in the past. Do you sort of get involved in a lot of projects, or is that something that maybe you used to, but not so now?
You did just say you don't want anybody coming with a drone filming your half projects.
Yeah. So when I was younger, obviously Facebook Marketplace and eBay, I could buy like I borrowed my car trailer off my pal and I could buy myself like a wee Mazda or like something small. Now that I've got the step frame, it's ruined me a bit because now I see something on Facebook Marketplace and I'm like, fit that on the trailer, I stole that in a weekend, it'd be mint. So that's right there's the DAF 45 I'm doing. Yeah. I bought it for £800, I'm doing it up for my dad, and it's...
Yeah. Do you think will it do work? Will it always?
No, just a show lorry, but it's rough, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to do everything myself.
Yeah.
I want to give another aspect of content as well.
Sure.
Yeah. So that it's not just trucking videos.
Yeah, well, you talk about people like Matt Armstrong. It's
buy
a similar
it, build
thing.
it type thing. Yeah,
that's it. It's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? Really, to buying older stuff and giving it a new life. Yeah,
trying to make it look a wee bit better. So far, it looks better than when I first got it, but it's still a long way away.
I suppose for you though, as well, being out, Monday to Friday, out on Sunday again. I suppose it's sometimes nice to have something else that you're working on. A different sort of prospect or a different direction, if you like.
Because driving can be mind-numbing.
That shed right there, that's my safe place. I go in there, I've got the music on, and I can just forget about everything. Yeah. Sometimes forget about my phone. I've got like a million missed calls to the missus, but
you've got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah.
But we've just took on 2 more projects. The story's unreal, to be honest. I still can't believe it happened. I was in Southampton docks, what was that now, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and somebody tagged me in a post, jokingly, and it was a picture of this old Bedford TK from 1979, I think it was, and it was our livery on it, Callan's Removals. That was a company we bought. We bought the phone number off of about 3 years ago now. Anyways, he tagged me in it and he was like, oh, you could restore this after you're done doing your scrap DAF. And honestly, I looked at it and went, oh shit, I need to buy that.
Yeah, so how can you not?
It's an original livery, you just can't get that. So I phoned the guy, we're coming up with a deal. And I was ecstatic at the fact that I was buying an original livery. Because it's one thing to buy an old lorry and then make it look like one you used to have. But to actually buy the old lorry.
Like the original, if you like.
It's mental. So I was on the phone to him and we're talking away, and I ruined the negotiation for the start because I was like, honestly, we've always wanted one of these. We would put it up in Kilmarnock Removals colours, but because this one's Callan's, we've kept it. But honestly, because Kilmarnock had hundreds of them back in the day. I'm off track here now. But I was like, I'd love one for Kilmarnock Removals, blah, blah, blah. And on the phone he goes, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I'm looking at the Kilmarnock Removals one. I went, no, you're not, mate. He goes, I'm being serious, the Kilmarnock Removals one's right here. And he sent me a video and it sat next to the Callan's one.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I can't then turn around and be like,
I'll take both.
I'm not that interested, mate. What would you want for it? Because I've literally just sat on the phone and been like, oh, I'd love it.
Yeah, that's it. You've already done that bit.
Aye, but it was a boy in Ireland that had a Bedford museum. He had over 100 Bedfords. Sadly, he passed away 10 years ago or something. I can't quite remember. The nephew took over, sold, exported and scrapped a lot of the Bedfords, but kept 4.
Yeah.
And of the 4, he kept the Callans and the Kilmarnock Removals, and I just thought that was mental.
Yeah.
So I went over, picked them up, got them both. And
what's the condition like? Are they okay?
Honestly, I can't believe the condition they're in. Obviously they're rusty, don't get me wrong, they're going to need a bit of work, but all the body's fiberglass. The chassis is a wee bit rough, but we can
Main thing is that livery is still intact, and that's the reason for buying it, really. Yeah.
But the original paintwork underneath, the boy covered them in furniture varnish to keep them protected. I don't know if it's like an old timey thing, or I don't know if it's an old trick of the trade or whatever. But they're coated in this furniture wax, like quite thick. So as I was hitting it with the jet wash, it's all just peeling off. And honestly, see the paintwork underneath, it's like. It's immaculate.
Yeah, right.
Honestly,
it's good underneath. Right.
I reckon I polish up and they could go to a show.
That's it. Wow. Yeah, sure.
It's unreal.
Yeah. What are you going to do with your daft now?
That's my next thing. I really want to do these Bedfords, but I want to finish the daft. So
how many can get on at the same time?
Yeah, I can only get one in the shed at a time.
Oh right, I see. Yeah. So this one needs to move on now then.
Yeah. I need to. That's my Mazda MX-5 that I made into an off-roader as well.
Oh, really?
Raised it up. Yeah. Where'd you get this all from your dad? All this know-how to...
No, I just watching on YouTube.
Oh, really? Oh, fair play.
Watching on YouTube and then just doing something and going, that didn't work, and then trying again and going, that worked a wee bit better. And then rough and ready. Don't get me wrong, it'll never be a professional job, but...
It's a decent job. Saying you've done it yourself.
That's it.
Yeah. Do you talk about your shows? Do you do all the main shows? Or I suppose it's difficult with being out.
When I worked in the removals, my father, I used to do all the shows, and he used to hate it. But I never had anything else to do. Yeah. You know, that way my weekends were free. I had no lorries to work on. I had no jobs to plan, all that jazz. And I wasn't away Monday to Friday, so going away at the weekends was fine. But now I've got jobs to plan, obviously my kid to see, everything. I kind of going away all week and then the weekend and then the week after.
Yeah, you'd always have to sacrifice your work, which you don't want to do, to be able to do a show. I get it.
So you end up going away for like 2 whole weeks at a time, and that's hard. I take my hat off to anyone that does that. I struggle with 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's a big commitment. So yeah, as you say, life is more important than other things, and
that's it. I do enjoy the shows, but it's one of those ones I have to give up something.
Yeah. Sure. Something's got to give.
Aye.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
And probably restoring all these lorries for shows probably isn't the best idea.
Yeah. Staying away a week at a time.
Might just open up a museum.
That's it. Yeah, get them to come to you instead.
That's it.
Anything sort of on the what's the short term plan for you then? Just sort of carry on as you are.
Carry on as I am. Yeah. And just get these projects done.
Yeah. European work will happen more and more. Hopefully.
Once I get that tachograph, I'll start pushing it a wee bit more.
So I suppose for content actually is the right direction, because it's something else, isn't it? It's something different, another perspective.
It's not something I see many doing unless I'm not watching the right people, but I don't see it that much.
People love that whole a UK guy's take on driving in Europe, or a European guy's take on driving in the UK. I don't know, it's you get like people an American reacting to a British truck, and like, you know what I mean? People like love that whole.
Well, it's just
different.
It's just happened in the States now, isn't it? With I always forget his name.
Is it Bruce or something?
Yes,
Scania.
He's the first Scania, basically working with Scania UK and now Scania USA. Had basically shipped an R series cab out to the States.
Oh, really?
And he's running this truck all over now, and all the Americans are sort of seeing this like, I suppose, compared to a Rolls Royce, really. All the interior and whatever, they're amazed actually of how good European trucks are.
Yeah,
compared to some of the Kenworths and.
As men know that. See, when you see America, not that I want to start anything, but like you see some of the lorries and you're like, geez, man, they'd be hard to drive. But they're probably proper old school.
Yeah.
Proper old school.
Well, they keep them, don't they? Just keep mending them, keep mending them.
See with the walnut dashes and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
that's it, all the switches and dials and stuff. Yeah,
it's like an aeroplane inside.
That's it. You got the Scania with like clock, entertainment system, and like leather and all sorts of these bits and pieces. But
I always keep getting suggested on my Facebook of just like truck not stopping, and I don't know why. It's always at North America. They do the run-up ramps. Or I watched one the other day where there's a train crossing. and he literally just can't stop the truck. And he just thinks, right, I either hit the train or hopefully this post stops me. So just, to be fair, the spur of the moment is probably not a bad idea. Just hope this post stops me, and it did just stop it before the train. Yeah, it's
You don't
crazy.
really see much of that over here.
No. That's probably a good thing, isn't it, really? Because to be fair, with our roads, something like that happens, right? The old, the local town or village gets shut down for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. But no, it's sort of story I've been watching, and I think it's quite cool actually how we're implementing European trucks into America now, where they make them. They are American trucks, but having European truck over there now is quite an interesting story.
I feel like it's
because you've got an American car, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of lessons in that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing was mental.
Yeah.
I can't sell it. I can't bring myself to get rid of it.
No. What is it?
A Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
It's the V8 version.
Oh, okay, the better one.
Yes. The proper one.
The salesman got me with that. I was looking at a 2
Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that.
He started it up in the showroom, and I was like, "Oh, that's not very nice."
You didn't have to do that to me.
Then he started the V8 up, and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, it costs me more.
Yeah.
Because that engine belongs in the RS, doesn't it? The Focus, the 2.3.
Yeah, the Eco
which is fine. It's fine in that, but put it to a Mustang, it goes against the grain, doesn't it? It goes against what it should be.
That car, I really shouldn't have bought it, but I was 19 at the time. I just passed my transport manager CPC, and my wage had gone up a little bit.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, I've got money.
All this money. What can I do with it?
I lived at
As
home.
every young lad does. Yeah.
I lived at
Guilty.
home. I'd no kids, no girlfriend. I had no commitments at all.
Fine. Yeah.
I think my phone bill was about the only thing that came out of my account. So I was like, I can do this. So I remember I bought it, and I was driving it home, and honestly, I've never driven something so slow in my life because everyone's like, no, you if you put the foot down, it'll just spin out and stuff. And I was like, no, it won't.
Yeah.
But I eventually got my confidence up with it, and then I just became a bit like yourself. I was just flat out everywhere. Yeah. I was just an absolute
menace.
I thought I was something. And then one night I was racing this Subaru. Maybe I was 20 years old or something, and I absolutely spanked this Subaru.
Yeah.
And then we got to the roundabout, and we stopped, and we're talking, blah blah blah. And then I was like, I've watched Fast and Furious.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go round this roundabout. And I put it in the railing. So it needed a whole new bumper, radiator, and hood. And after that, honestly, you should see me driving it now. I'm an absolute Jesse. The thing scares me.
Yeah.
But
But I suppose when you're driving your truck every week, you know what? It's something you can jump into sometimes.
Bit of fun.
When think times are difficult and just go, you know what?
that's
a bit
it.
of fun.
There's a lot of times I've been in a bad place, and I've taken that car a drive, and by the time I come home,
And that is absolutely worth it. Just in that.
100%.
There
And
you
it's
go.
one of those cars where you don't need to drive fast. They look good and they sound great.
That's
And that's half of it anyway.
But you
isn't
still
it?
do under 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
How fast you get to 70 is another story.
I don't think it's illegal to
It's driving without. I think it's like driving reckless or driving without due
you know what?
care.
Anything you do now, though, it's illegal,
that's
isn't it? Like we've got AI cameras now, and like
Have there AI cameras?
yeah, they're all. I don't know what is AI about them, but yeah, apparently they're coming over and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so
What can you see, like phones and
Yeah,
I think
phones and
seatbelts,
seatbelts.
stuff, which you know, fair enough. Like I do agree with like seatbelts and phones and stuff, but like you know, it almost is getting to the point now where it isn't just it doesn't just it's almost looking for something to give you fine and points with now. It's like surveillance now, isn't it?
Yeah, we are surveilled though, aren't we? Really, everywhere we go.
Yeah,
everywhere we go.
Which is
Invasion of.
scary.
Yeah.
But that's
So we're looking in your house next.
That's it. That's it. What time's you going to bed tonight?
you probably can off your phone.
I know.
Probably, yeah.
I know.
I know.
Well, they're probably listening now.
Yeah, that's it.
What are these guys doing in this weird room talking?
What's he doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it all because you got blue Mazda, blue Mustang? Is it? Or do you love blue, or is it just because of the?
It's just Thompson Rivers was always blue. I like everything matching.
Keep it blue.
Yeah.
Stick with one colour.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I have a thing for blue cars. I don't know why. It just adds.
They just stand
100
out,
more.
don't they?
Yeah, 100 more horsepower.
Yeah,
than
of course
yeah.
it does. Yeah, of course.
I've had loads of blue cars.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I had a black car once, never again. That
Nah.
thing was. See, keeping it clean.
You see everything on them as well. I've just got one, and they look great when they're clean. But the problem is as well,
polished.
on the right light, you see every little scratch.
Swirl,
Yeah,
scratch and
so I'm
shit.
already like, oh, probably get that polished next year, and then it's, and then the problem is you do that, then you see that one scratch again.
See, we got a commercial wrap on ours that said the company name and all that, because it was just, don't get me wrong, I had it black for what, 4 months, and it was horrible. You drive it like 20 miles and it was dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
that is this country though, isn't it? Like, especially at the minute, it's salt everywhere. Like the weather we've got, you just can't keep a clean car at all. It's not worth it. But
they're
properly ditched, aren't they? And then straight away they'll go on and say it's illegal to have your number plate.
Yeah, I know.
With the miles as well, to be fair, that we do in the cars, sometimes I could literally set off in the morning and literally by the end of the day, you can't see anything. It's the headlights, the rear light, everything is caked.
It's the mirrors as well. So you're trying to reverse, just get these to be clean.
Which is that a benefit then of the camera mirrors, do you think?
I don't know. I've never used them.
No.
I imagine surely a camera lens would still
they
get
still
dirty.
do. Yeah,
true.
it's the same as reverse camera, which they get dirty.
Yeah,
don't
true.
they?
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's a very good point. The reverse cameras get dirty. I imagine that unless, I don't know if they get a way of cleaning them or something.
Yeah, like a headlight washer type.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. Stick to what you know sometimes.
That's it. None of our trucks are new enough for that.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I speak to somebody who's saying about in America that, like, in New York, they're like level with Madrid, but it still gets very cold. It's very similar temperatures over there, but they don't have the moisture, they don't have like the damp, so they never use like screen wash or whatever. They don't really have the problems with like frost in the car, out the car, or whatever in the mornings. So it's the same temperature, same cold. But I was saying like, do you use a lot of screen wash this time of year? We don't use it. Screen wash, what? Yeah. It's absolutely ditched over here. The worst country to drive your car.
I think it is. But right side of summer now, so there you go.
Yeah.
It's the grit as well. It's not good on.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
just it ruins your car.
Aye.
Absolutely.
Yeah, having a nice car over here is difficult, isn't it? No, let's not even get started on the roads. But
great. Well, obviously, thank you very much for
thank you,
mate.
making a big old journey down to us. Are you back up north today, or
down to Boston, pick up a load, and then fire back up to Dundee?
He did say he won't do it unless he's got a load to do.
If I told my dad I was driving a pickup down here and not making money, Jesus,
don't go home.
Fair play, mate. Fair play.
Well, thank you very much again. And
cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
If you've enjoyed this episode with Shaun, please make sure to like, comment, and let us know who you want on Talkin Shop next.